So this is gross. Warning. Hold on, I gotta clean my camera. So, in this dream last night, it was pretty gross. It was really gross, actually. So I'm in, like, a neighborhood, but it was kind of like a park, like a, not rural, but, like, suburban neighborhood. And, there were all these parties around me, like, just a whole, like, neighborhood full of parties, like a block party kind of type thing. And so, but they were all, like, political parties. Like, there was the Republicans' house and the Democrats' house, and, like, every house had their own political agenda and, like, political affiliations. And so I'm going from house to house and eating cake. Cake at everybody's house. Like, the Republicans' house, cake. The Democrats' house, cake. And it was very, like, split like that, like the two parties. There wasn't any independent or libertarian. There wasn't any of that. It was just Republican, Democrat. And this went on, like, it was extensive. Like, I mean, it was a long time in the dream that this was going on. So it was clear to me that this was something that was like something that was, like, deeply bred in the minds and hearts of people. That this had been literally going on for a long time. But this was something that was ingrained in people, that their thinking and not just their thoughts, but their emotions were driven by this two-party system, this kind of dualistic way of thinking. And, but this was, like, I mean, every house had, like, different kinds of cake. I mean, it was just, and they were all kind of, like, cheap cakes. And I don't mean, like, inexpensive. I mean cheap, like the ones that you might buy at, like, a grocery store or something. Just, like, sheet cake with, like, a bunch of frosting on it. And just, like, not really, none of them homemade. None of them. And just, like, really cheap cake. Like, cheap cake, cheap icing, cheap decoration, just yuck. And, but I had, like, eaten so much of this cake. I mean, I don't even remember how many. I think it was, like, 4 or 5 different homes I went to and ate all kinds of cake. And another thing, I don't really remember enjoying any of it. I don't remember, like, biting into it and being like, oh, this is so good. No, it was just, like, eating for the sake of eating kind of thing. And, like, no pleasure to it, just eating. Kind of, like, because I was expected to, because I was going to these parties, so I'm, like, eating this cake because I'm expected to, kind of thing. And so I get back to a friend of mine's house, and I don't remember which political party he belonged to, but it was a man. And I had to use a restroom. And I'm starting to go poop, right? Like, you know, just kind of, like, sit down on the toilet and go poop. Only everything that was coming out of me was maggots. It was foul. I mean, really foul. Like, I remember seeing it in the dream and just being like, like, horrified at what I saw coming out of my body. I mean, it was like full on maggots. And this went on. The same thing with the cake. Like, the time that I was going poop was like, it was a long time. Like, it was coming out of me for a very long time. And finally, the maggots stopped coming out of me. And then it was just kind of like poop after that. But it was, like, weird. It was like this gray color. I mean, it was just, there was no smell to it. That was another thing that was really odd. Because I usually smell in my dreams. I have a sense of smell in my dreams. I smell all kinds of things in my dreams. And so that was another thing that struck me as odd. about this whole, like, defecating dream. And, I mean, you could, like, I mean, I thought about this for a while, and I thought, like, what is this dream about? Because it's nasty. Like, what a disgusting dream. It was really gross. And, oh, that's another thing. My friend saw me pooping, and, like, he was in the room with me, and it was like, he wasn't even fazed by it. It was weird. It was gross. And, like, I wasn't even bothered that he was, like, in the room with me while I was pooping, like, while I was in the bathroom. And I asked the Lord, I was like, "What is this dream about? Like, this is really weird." Because I've had dreams about pooping before, but, like, this one's strange. I mean, I never had dreams about pooping maggots. Like, that's gross. And, he said, "You'll know a tree by its fruits." A while ago, I had a dream about, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, both of them. I was camping behind Woodland Park, up above Colorado Springs in Colorado. And, I had this dream about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And, like, this is weird for me because I have zero political affiliations. I have nothing to do with it. Nothing. I know what Jesus Christ tells me. He tells me don't trust anyone. Trust no man. And that's what I do. I don't go around distrusting people. I just, if you show me once that I can't trust you, I'm not going to trust you. And so in this other dream, Kamala Harris was, like, stealing stuff. We were in a movie theater, and there were, like, candy bars. You know how you walk in and you, like, buy your concession stand snacks and everything, and she was, like, stealing candy bars and, like, whatever, sodas, whatever she was stealing, and I knew she was stealing, but then Trump was there too, and he was hiding behind, like, a curtain doing sorry, my dog's snoring, doing the whole, like, Wizard of Oz thing. It was really weird. But in the dream, like, neither one of them did I trust. I didn't trust either one of them in this dream. Like, they were both super strange, weird. And I didn't trust either one of them in this dream. I mean, obviously Kamala Harris was stealing things, but Donald Trump was, like, hiding behind this curtain. And, like, anyway, the other dream the Lord showed me about, I mean, Kamala Harris stealing things, obviously, that's obvious. But I asked the Lord, what does it mean when you showed me Donald Trump, like, hiding behind a curtain, like, playing Wizard of Oz? And he said, spectacle. Spectacle and nothing more. Nothing of substance and spectacle only. And then just, like, about a week ago, the Lord guided me to this weird video about the Wizard of Oz and and I was like, wow, because the video said almost verbatim what the Lord told me about the Wizard of Oz. And I had never heard like a summary of the Wizard of Oz in the way that video summed it up. I think I put it in my community tab on a post. It's about a week ago, but I think it's the only post. It's got to be the only post about the Wizard of Oz in all of my community posts. And so, and the Lord was like, spectacle, and nothing of substance. And then, like, not too long ago, I was thinking about Donald Trump, and I know what he knows enough to talk the talk. That man does not walk the walk. And if you can't see that, if people can't see that, like, if he loved the Lord so much, why didn't he ever talk about him not this last election, but the one before? Never one word about Jesus, about God, about none of it. Things that make you go, Like, does nobody, like, is everybody's attention span so short that they don't remember that he has I never heard the man talk about God, ever. Never. Nor of any of his family. Nothing. So, and I've asked the Lord a lot about, our political systems. And of course, I've never really had any political affiliation. So it really wasn't a stretch for me to just, drop it. And as far as I'm concerned, they're both the same demonic, they're both serving the same master is what I'm saying. And that's what this dream was about, was going to all these different parties and doing basically what was expected of me, or what I thought was expected of me, and then like it rotting my insides to the point where I'm literally pooping maggots. And I'm like, wow, that's disgusting, Father. And he's like, yeah, but that's what an entire nation is doing right now. They're rotting their insides and feasting on the lies and false and the unbelievably shallow and false nature of all of these people. It's no better than Hollywood. Yes, I'm comparing them to pedophiles. Yes, I am. Because it's just as bad. So, if people really understood what's behind all of it, they'd understand why I'm so serious about them making that statement. Oh yeah. It's vile, the vileness of it. Don't let it fool you. Anyway, I don't usually share my dreams on my YouTube channel, but the Lord asks me to do what he asks me to do, and so I'm sharing this. And I know it's kind of gross, but it is not beyond the Lord to use shock factor to get our attention. And that dream definitely got my attention. Gross. I hope this video finds you blessed. Love, blessings, and compassion to everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Peace be with you.